Good morning. A look at our home at downtown Toronto, Yonge Dundas Square. And since its inception, the sneaker industry has only grown. Now sneakers, they're not just for playing ball or kicking around with sports. They're fashion and collector's items. But as much as the sneaker industry has grown, it hasn't fully adapted to being as inclusive to women as it has been for men. Here to discuss its sustainable fashion and sneaker consultant, Megan Ann Wilson. Megan, She Got Game is the account, of course, that I've been checking out. And first thing you said to me was, "What are you wearing on your feet?"
I mean, it's an honest question, right? I have to know who I'm talking to. I looked on your Instagram. You've got some sneaker game, but I'm always curious to hear what people are wearing in this crazy heat.
Listen, I don't got the game that you've got right now. And let's talk about this. The sneaker industry needing to be more inclusive right away. Let's get right into it. What are your thoughts on this?
Well, I think it's interesting because it's a question that's been happening a lot in the past few years, but I think we're at kind of a new inflection point. And that is we're starting to see more and more women initiatives coming through. And we used to joke, those of us who, grew up working in sneakers, there was always like 2 token females at every event. And now we're having female-focused events, and that's great. But now we really need to look at hiring more women, not just in entry-level jobs, but in leadership roles. And that's something I'm really passionate about, having gone to Pencil and studying sneaker design. There's just not a big push to have women in leadership, and that's going to make a big difference in products, in development, in having more of an inclusive thing. And we need to focus on being more intersectional and not just focusing about top-tier athletes. We need to support the full NBA, WNBA. We need to support, all kinds of different women that are sneaker fans, because the reality is women drive the purchasing power in all households. So if you can really bring them in, you can, for brands, just really push their growth, but also get more people in a way that's not so gatekeepery. Growing up, a lot of times in sneakers, it would be like we needed a certain, relief gear, like, these black hats are not the original, so whatever, So I think getting more inclusive and more intersectional and making sure we're involving all kinds of different women in sneakers is super important, and making sure that we're having representation, not just, in our ad campaigns, but at leadership, at brands like Nike and Adidas, at broadcasting, on all different levels. And I think that's really how we become more inclusive, is making sure we're intersectional, but we're also uplifting past just, a general rule, line of, PR or entry level.
Yeah, and you're right. I remember being at an event. I'm not going to name the brand because I'm not going to throw anybody on the bus that way, but I just remember being there with a bunch of sneakerheads, and there were 2 token females there. I'm sure you were one of them, and a common friend, Anna, was probably the other girl that was there. And we're just like, why is that? And then there's colorways. You look at the shoes that are people putting out. Why are those not more inclusive in that? Why is it got to be, the pink one is just for the ladies, and the purple one, is that changing finally?
Absolutely, and I think it's something that's changed the last few years. I think it's just getting to a point where we're like, okay, we don't need to hear about trinket and ticket anymore, because always growing up, I would have guys be like, I wish I could have that pink purple colorway, and I was like, I just want a pair of black red. It was hard to get that inclusive sizing. So one of the big ways we're seeing that shift is now brands like Nike are doing, like on the size chart, they're doing a 4.5, there's a 6 women, so it's just a 4.5. So making unisex sizing is a way to really democratize it, and also because of, where fashion's going at being not very gendered as much anymore, having it be more open, I think makes a big difference, in how people are really going to look at sneakers and find a way in. So I think that's been a big part of how colorways are accepted. And also we have to remember that colorways are dictated based on color trends. So sometimes women will see a pink sneaker come out, we'll be like, why another second? Why another pink sneaker? I'm a little passionate about it, but sometimes it's a color story, right? Pink is trending right now, so it's going to be big. Like, if you're a sneaker person, it's infrared, right? It's a version of pink. So I think it's something that we also, when we look at different colorways, we have to take into account all people that are there. And I think part of it too is, as much as I'm someone, I'm wearing pink nails, whatever, we have to remember that there's all kinds of women in sneakers. Some of us are going to want pink, some of us are going to want all black. So part of it too is, within that representation and being more inclusive, is being okay that there can be different styles of sneakers for women. And I think also making it so the size range is larger and making sure, the shoes fit better is a huge part of it.
Megan, we're out of time, but I'm going to give it 30 seconds right here. Quick, one tip that you want for women who want to get involved in collecting shoes, and at the same time, please grab your favorite pair of kicks that you have sitting around behind you. So this is multitasking. We got 30 seconds. I know. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would say the biggest thing I would say is probably, find community. That's something we've noticed so much during the pandemic, is find a place like Soul Savvy, Twitter, Clubhouse, Instagram. Go to stores like Makeway in Toronto, a women's focused store. Really design school here in New York in 2011 that started my career as an MBA stylist. Space Jam, classic. We talked about the movies coming out, super exciting. And then I would say Vapor Maxes, they're dirty, don't judge me, that I found, randomly on a StockX weekend. I might have had too much fun the other night, missed a flight, got these shoes, worth it. And then other than that, I would say the shoes that I kind of helped, that I designed with a collaboration with Cultivator and was able to have these sneakers, give money back to the ACLU and help other immigrants, other aliens in the U.S. and get to make a shoe that my whole family and my friends could buy.
That's amazing. They're going to yell at me because I could talk kicks with you all day. MeganAnnWilson.com is where you can check out, and at She Got Game as well. Thank you so much for that. A lot of information right there. And great kicks.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank
Take care,
you so much
Megan.
for having me.
No problem.
Thank you.
We'll be back with more BT after this. Good morning, y'all. So good, those shoes.